Okay, everybody, how we doing? How's everybody out here? You doing okay? I hope so on this on the freaky day. All right, everybody. First of all, I want to know if you can hear me. I think you can. I'm getting a nice little reading over here. Let's be before we really get started and have all kinds of fun, which I'm sure we're going to. Let's just for a moment here just step back. Today, the stock market got walloped across the board. 10-year yield rising, relative strength of the dollar rising, the MMRI crossed 256. That's our first line in the sand. You and I knew this from how long ago? You see, look, the freaks that run the freak show, they reveal their hand to us. If you pay attention to this stuff, it's kind of in your face. So you and I, clearly, all of us right here, have known the first red line in the sand is 250. We spoke about this repeatedly over and over and over and over again. We breached 250 Thursday. The market gets slammed. Tries to recover Friday. Okay, didn't do such a good job. The Dow finished positive, negative S&P 500, Nasdaq. Today, look, it just got walloped yet again here. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what comes next. What have I been saying? What have we discussed right freaking here, my lovely friends here? What have we discussed? If the Federal Reserve or central banks do not take action now, immediately, not in a week from today, this whole thing is going to get real, and I mean fast, okay? Let's see what they do here. Nothing would surprise me at all. It is certainly possible, my lovely, beautiful friends here, that tomorrow, overnight, who knows, whatever, we start seeing an epic amount of debt buying, yields drop, we get a 1,000 point rally in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Action must be taken now. I don't know another way to put this here. The liquidity is drying up. I have a whole thing I want to read to you. I'm going to try to keep this commentary kind of short here because I want to read something to you. As a matter of fact, if you subscribe to my free newsletter, which I sincerely hope you do, that what I'm going to read to you and kind of ad lib as I go along is already in your lovely inbox. So I hope you take advantage of that, people. I really, really do. Anyway, so with that said, let's see. Stocks got hammered. 10-year yield spiked, as I said. Dixie higher. Cryptocurrencies under some pressure. Gold and silver mixed, whatever. Nothing major going on over there. Crude oil under some pressure here. That's where we stand. The issue here, the bigger picture, which no one is going to tell you about because you know it already here, is the issue of liquidity. The market is illiquid. The debt market is insolvent. And without more debt, forget about the 500 million that we just sent over to Ukraine on top of the 1.5 billion and the hundreds of millions before. That's nothing. Nothing. This must be increased exponentially moving forward. This is just over. It's just over. And I'll outline more of this in just a moment here. So, what do we got today? Let me just cover some of the lovely news here. So big retail is warning that, this requires a duh. Honestly, a preemptive duh. Thank you, Howard. A preemptive duh here is that big retail is warning that consumers are feeling the pinch. They're feeling the pinch of rising prices. Wait a minute. Oh, no, wait. We're not. It's not transitory. It's not temporary. It wasn't peaking, and it's definitely sticky all over the freaking place. You can't make this stuff up. Try to make it up if you try to. You can't do it. So existing home sales fall for 12 consecutive months. As a matter of fact, the overall housing market is the weakest since 2010. I think that just about says it all. So where do we stand here, you and me? We have clearly crossed a red line here with regard to risk in this market. And it's going to be exceedingly lovely, in my view, and I'm sure all of you, to see what they do. What are they going to do about it? Let me ask you all right here. There's a whole bunch of people. There's 1,200 people here right now. Let me ask you. Here's the question. Are you ready for the question? Are you all ready for the question? Is the Federal Reserve, our central banks right now, going to allow the debt market to implode? Or are they going to get in here and buy more? Let me tell you something. Your guess is as good as mine. That's the question. I don't have any idea what they're going to do. They've been inflating and inflating, and honestly, the system is frankly screwed. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, exactly. Look, they can't stop inflating. We know they can't stop inflating. They're going to find any reason imaginable, things you can't dream about, to continue to inflate. Wars, expanding wars, and every freaking thing else in the middle that you can dream about, think about, fantasize about, spray your shorts about, if you get my drift, okay? So action must be taken, and action must be taken now. Otherwise, we're going to get a repeat performance tomorrow. But again, remember this, people, and you know this better than anybody else. The Federal Reserve has a trading desk. Okay, they buy the market. They buy large cap stocks. That's what they do. Are they going to do that? Are they going to get it? Are they going to do both? Buy more debt, buy stocks. I don't know. We're going to see, and it's going to be kind of interesting here, honestly. All right, no, look, I want to read this to you, and I really want you to pay attention to this. Once a week, I put something together like this for all of you. Every freaking week, it goes out in my free newsletter, okay? Like I said, this is already in your inbox, and I'm going to read this, and I'm going to ad-lib as I go through this, okay? So here we go. Are you ready? On the brink. We really are. We're on the brink here by yours truly. Are you ready for this? Sit back, relax, and then I want you to have questions for me when I finish this, all right? Right off the bat, tremendous change is coming. Can we agree on that? Absolutely. Today, the global financial system is teetering on a knife's edge, wavering ever more and dangerously close to a full-on implosion of the world's debt market. The debt market is the driver. All these freaks over here on the mainstream media, look at the Dow. Look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. They only want you to stare at dirty companies. They won't tell you where you need to look. Clearly, which is the debt market, clearly the debt market is unstable. Okay, make no mistake, people. A full-on implosion of the debt market is going to occur by design. I think we can all agree on that too. Okay, which will set the wheels in motion for a total meltdown of not just the world stock markets, because that's just the side effect of the meltdown in the debt market, okay? Not just the world stock markets, but a locking up of the entire global financial system. Are you with me? Are you with me? Okay. The world's financial system is nothing more than a gigantic Ponzi scheme, which absolutely must be fueled with exponentially increasing debt in order to function. You know this already, okay? Can't stop. The moment that this mechanism of expanding debt stops, create a reason to pull cash into the now. Thank you, Austin. The entire financial system freezes. The Fed can't be this. This is Austin. The Fed can't be this incompetent, right? Are they really doing this on purpose? Absolutely, Austin. They are driving the world and its entire population off a financial cliff at the same time creating wars. You think this is it? You think this is really it with regard to the war that's going on? Pay attention to this, okay? Now let's move forward. A freezing up of the financial system. Pay attention to this part. A freezing up of the financial system means that all transactions stop. Credit cards, debit cards, bank withdrawals, bank deposits, the buying and selling of goods and services using central bank issued notes stops. It all ends. This, my friends, is going to happen. Now, this is interesting too. Pay attention to this part. What 99% of the general population does not understand is this. Now, I think you already get it, but pay attention. The entire system, no matter how much debt is added via any mechanism, okay, can never have enough debt piled on. The system functions in a perpetual illiquid state. Now, what we're seeing here in the debt market, instability. Without more debt added to it, it's over. You see how this all ties together? You understand? Okay. As the number one driver of the world stock markets, the world's debt market itself is also illiquid. Duh. Okay. In fact, liquidity in the world's entire financial system is drying up rapidly. People, that's what we're really seeing. The root cause of everything that we're seeing, even though the world is awash with debt and we're in an environment of a debt bubble that you can't even get your head around, even someone like myself, okay, it's not enough. It's not big enough. It can never be big enough because the system is debt-based. It must function that way. It's a curse upon the world. is becoming more unstable. In fact, this situation is becoming so dire, listen to this, that without immediate intervention by world central banks, a full-on implosion in the global debt market will occur. I mean, you're starting to see the beginning, opening salvos here. Keep in mind that by adding more liquidity, we are really talking about expanding the debt, which is massively inflationary. You see, President Imbecile, who frankly just declared war on Russia today. Did you hear him? Did you hear him today? Screaming at the top of his freaking lungs how Russia will not win this war. Look, the man, in my view, looks to me like he just declared war on Russia. All right. Anyway, none of this is by accident. Pay attention. Today, collectively, world central banks are deliberately pushing the entire world financial system off of a cliff. Obviously, the people with it, and intentionally crushing the consumer, while at the same time pushing the world ever closer to global war. Okay? The puppet in chief right now, he's making sure that this gets fulfilled here. The world's population today is in the middle of an intentionally created environment of rising inflation, a situation which in no way is going to get any better, despite transitory, temporary, peaking, and freaking sticky. All right? And with that, the world economy itself is contracting at its fastest pace ever. Thank you, Guido. It's ever. We've never seen anything like this. But, we're doing great. Ask the mummy himself or any member of Congress. Do you feel like you have representation? Honestly, we have no representation anymore. Your votes don't count. We have no representation anymore. This whole thing has been taken over by a corrupt, twisted organization who's hell-bent on controlling the entire world. And we're talking about central banks collectively. Where's the outrage? Where's the uproar? People, remember what I'm telling you. You and me, we are the resistance. We raise our awareness. We get this stuff out there. We educate ourselves. We understand how the system works. We know who the players are. We can't lose, but we got to get more people involved. Now, pay attention to this one last thing I'm going to tell you, because this is huge. Are you ready? The number one way in which liquidity can be added to this illiquid system is to perpetuate war. What do you think is going on here? Billions of dollars over here, millions of dollars over there. The mummy screaming from rooftops about how Russia's never going to win. We have to back this war. But pay attention to what's coming, people, because I'm going to lay it out for you right now. No other endeavor on the planet generates more need for cash to be borrowed into existence than expanding war or wars. You all know that. Now, so what is the takeaway from all this? All right. Again, this is in your inbox, people. If you subscribe to my free newsletter, the takeaway is this: expect war to greatly expand. Expect the world's economy to contract much faster. Expect inflation to get a lot worse. Expect global debt to hyperballoon. Expect job losses to skyrocket. And expect a major false flag event to occur, with many people, maybe even some of you, maybe me, losing our lives just so they can get the general population to back another war. Do you see what's going on here? I really hope you do, people, because this stuff I put out is gold, okay? And I really want you to have your own copy and do whatever you want with it. You have my permission right here to get out there and share it far and wide. Please do that. All right, people, look, there's over 2,000 of you here right now. What I would like to do is answer some questions, all right? Whatever you got for me, yeah, just like the Gulf of Tonkin, just like Pearl Harbor, just like 9/11, you could go on and on and on. This is their MO. This is what they do. They deliberately create a horrific event, kill thousands and thousands of people, and then they point their finger at who's to blame. And then, of course, they get all the sheep out here to put their flags outside, their flagpoles up, and say, let's go to war. Are you kidding me? Thank you, Melanie. Anyway, you know this, people. It's in your face. Everything we've been speaking about for years, it's right here. It's happening right freaking now. My weekend with Loretta. She broke my freaking heart. No. The ghoul and me, we don't see it eye to eye. I'm talking about Loretta Mester, for those of you who don't know. Anyway, I said the word again. Every time I can't help myself with that ghoul. can't do it. Thank you, Stuart. All right. Anyway, people. What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about here? I mean, look. The truth of the matter is, here's the truth. You and I have been expecting to see exactly what we're seeing for freaking years. Look, I'm smarter than anybody else. None of us here are smarter than anybody else. All right. But you and I actually, some people have the ability to just put things together and see a little further down the road than maybe the next guy or the next girl. It's so obvious as to what's going on. We realize the players here. Okay. It's central banks who are hell bent to fulfill their end game, people, to be the lenders and buyers of last resort, to own it all. That is the only and sole reason why central banking was created, to one day so the central banks could collectively coordinate to own the world. Who do you think they work for? You think they work for you? You think they work for me? Hell no, absolutely not. These are private institutions for profit, even though they're not supposed to be. And if you could only imagine what's off balance sheet, like all the cash we're sending to fund this war and that war and whatever else they want to do, all we're allowed to see is what they're going to throw in our face. And if you think that's the truth, well then I don't know what to tell you here, people. I don't know what to tell you. No, look, going back to the video I put out this morning, where I said, look, it may be time for us to start thinking about, limiting our exposure to the long end of this market here. Now, if we continue to see the MMRI climb, if we continue to see global bond yields rise, thank you, Melanie, again. If we continue to see the relative strength of the dollar, relative strength, people, that does not mean that the dollar itself is getting stronger. I continue to get this. We are comparing the dollar to other currencies. When you say relative basis, it's comparing it. Yes, you and I have realized for I don't know how many years, we covered it here, that we would see the relative strength of the dollar continue to climb. Meanwhile, its absolute strength is going up, is dissolving right before your eyes. Henceforth, why you're seeing inflation, but you're not supposed to know that. You're supposed to think that prices are just rising because they're rising. No. It has nothing to do with the fact that central banks continue to inflate. Mummy man is sending money over here, and every other freaking warp speed vaccine and everything else they got to do to fund. Well, it's so massively inflationary. Thank you, Steve. Anyway, people, that's where we're at. Okay. And I think all of us have a really good handle on what to do. With regard to the market, caution is advised. With regard to becoming your own central bank, betting against the debt, if you're not doing that already, you're in a lot of trouble. Physical silver, my most favorite asset of all time. You all know that. I've never wavered from that. I never will waver from that. Okay. You need to be diversified. You need to be in a lot of things. You need exposure to commodities, as I always tell you. I think you also need to have some cryptocurrency in your portfolio. I did not sell. Remember, I threw that idea out recently. I bought Bitcoin 17.5. I said, hey, I could pull out and make a nice profit right now. No, I'm still holding on to it. Okay. It's volatile, whatever. Eats the bugs. Oh, yes. I love that guy. He's always around. Anyway, people, look, the Fed's power is nowhere near an end. The Fed's power is being consolidated. See, people are off on the delusion, some people, that central banks here are somehow losing power. Central banks are the most powerful organizations on the planet, none more so than the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, because the US dollar remains the world reserve currency, okay, and the Federal Reserve has the full military backing of the United States arsenal, including its nuclear arsenal, and they will point that inward or outward, is the most powerful organization on the planet. There's no way to stop it except for divine intervention, which I don't believe is happening anytime soon. So anyone that's trying to sell you that the Federal Reserve or central banks are losing power or nearing their end has no idea what they're talking about. These institutions have been put in place over a century ago. They had a long-term goal here. Thank you, Deborah. And their goal is being fulfilled. Okay. We got a debt-based system, a fiat monetary system. We have the petrodollar still in full effect here. Look, if these things start to go away, for example, the petrodollar, well, you're going to be drafted, and you can count on that, your children, into some kind of a conflict that you wouldn't possibly believe. A nuke will probably be dropped somewhere, okay? You can expect something major to occur. Thank you, Miguel. Anyway, that's where we stand here. Central banks are solidifying their power. And without a revolution, as I've been telling you, without a revolution, because we have no representation anymore. It's absolutely over. They're in full control. Full control. Thank you. I'm going to mess up your first name. Barco here. I appreciate you very much. Anyway, people, look, that's it. I don't really know what else there is to say about the current situation. You got it down. We got it down. We know what to do. We know why we're doing it, and we're not going to stop. Thank you, Daryl. They're creating slaves to the system. They're creating people who are dependent on the system. We are witnessing a global event here where the middle class is being systematically erased. You've all known about this for an entire decade. I have covered this for an entire decade. Thank you, Crypto King. That's cute. Anyway, people, look, yeah, I wish we could do that to the Fed. I don't even want to say that word out here because they might flag it. NAPALM. Look, the key to this entire thing is taking back the financial system. Central banks, the Fed here, run the economy. They run the financial system. They run the markets. They control the flow of information, okay? Everything is controlled by central banks, who are the government of the world. We have a one world government. Everything else is a sideshow. It's a freak show, okay? Just a method of division, divide and conquer. That's all it is. This organization has no accountability. None of them do. None of these central banks. They answer to nobody. There is no oversight. We, the people, are nothing. Okay, we are a means to an end, and they will spill our guts all over this planet by the millions to fulfill their end game here, to be the lenders and buyers of last resort, to own the planet Earth. That's really, honestly, the only thing that maybe we can hope for is divine intervention. Otherwise, that's it. There's nothing else that's going to stop what's coming here. There's not enough of people like you and I. Honestly, there's not enough to bring this together here. Absolutely, man. You know, like I said, I'll do anybody's podcast whenever you want. Shoot me an email. Anyway, people, look, what else can I tell you here? There's so much going on right now. We need aliens. Yeah. Maybe aliens will come save the day. Who the freak knows? I don't know. But anyway, I do enjoy these things. I really, really do. We've been on here for 22 minutes, over 22 minutes. 2,434 people are watching this already. Is Biden an alien? He's something else that begins with an A and ends with an E, you know, and a couple of other things going on as well. But he's just a puppet. All presidents are puppets. Again, we have no representation. You may think you do. You may think that this person or that person or whoever else is out there and it has your best interest in mind, but they don't. This is the United States of corporate America. It's a world with a corporate agenda hanging over it, being run by the military-industrial complex and central banks. That's all this is. All it is. We have nothing else anymore. Honestly, and I think all of us are pretty much on the same page with this. I really, really do. Anyway, that's where we're at, people. And look, Tyler, that's exactly what I was leading up to over there. Anyway, I would not. Yeah, would you be surprised? I wouldn't be surprised to see a 10-year yield over 4%. Look, like I told you, you and I today, honestly, and I'm not tooting my own horn here, but we do have the best tool for market risk on the planet. My little creation. I'm Dr. Frankenstein here. The MMRI. It's so simple. Meanwhile, look at it. I mean, you and I realize 250 was that first red line in the sand. Got hit on Thursday. Same thing today. What's going to happen tomorrow? I mean, are they going to start buying more debt? Are they going to start buying the market? Is some miracle buyer going to get in here and start buying all these large cap stocks to pick up the market? I mean, we'll see. Nothing would surprise me anymore, but I'm telling you right now, like I said earlier, my first video, I really believe we have to start thinking about limiting exposure to the long end of the market. Long end, meaning the side of the market that only makes money when stocks go up. Okay. We need to be diversified, betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank, exposure to commodities, none more so than gold and silver here. We got it down. You and I have been doing this for I don't know how freaking long. So from that standpoint, we're freaking invincible, but I'm going to tell you something. Okay. A false flag event is coming. I don't want any of you or myself, obviously, to get caught up in this. All right. Something big must occur to back a wider, expanding war, more cash pulled into the now, to get people to go hang their American flags outside on their porches here. Rah, rah, rah. Let's go kill these people. They're the ones that we have to go after. You remember the last time that happened? Total distraction. Okay. Weapons of mass destruction, everything else, how they sold that whole thing to all of us here. Where's the accountability? Nowhere. It never exists. Okay. Because the people, again, they've been dumbed down. They've been turned into sheep. They don't know what to do with themselves or why they're doing anything anymore. People today, besides you and me, most people today have no clue as to what's going on at all. They've been dumbed down to the point of they can't walk and chew gum at the same time. They're distracted by the mainstream media propaganda, the deceptions, the lies, all of this stuff that you and I have been paying attention to since freaking forever. I'm surprised I'm still out here. How many of you are still surprised I'm out here? They're going to get me. Don't worry about it. They're going to get me. And I'm willing to, for that. They're going to get me. They're going to get me. There's no doubt about it. Thank you, Paulo. Appreciate that. Anyway, look, that's where we're at. And I'm going to end this video because it's a 26-minute video. But I enjoy this stuff. We're going to do this again tomorrow. We're going to do this every day. All right. So tomorrow, I'm certain most of you who are here are going to be here. Think about what you want to ask me. And it doesn't have to be market related. Let's talk about anything here. I love all of you guys too. It's the truth. We're in this together. This is a family, okay? This is not just a Greg Mannarino open his big fat mouth and talk about nonsense freaking blog here, okay? I feel a genuine responsibility to all of you. I really do. And I feel that this is a family. This is a global family. I really wish we could build this community a lot bigger than we already have. Thank you, Sinza. I appreciate this. Yeah. Anyway, people, that's where we're at. I don't think there's much else to say. It's just so freaking out of control. It's out of freaking control at this point. But the fact of the matter is it's in full control. Again, there's nothing about no control. We feel like we have no control, but the fact of the matter is we have a lot of control over our own destiny here. Okay. And if we band together, love each other, care about each other, be charitable, and realize the situation we're in, we're going to be a lot better off. What do I always tell you? We need each other. We all need each other here. Forget about the divide and conquer mechanism here. Okay. We understand the plan. That's what they do. We're not going to let them beat us. We're not going to let them beat us. Okay. Period. All right. I am out of here. Again, please share this stuff. I'll see all of you in the morning for my pre-market report. Much love. Exactly. Yagi one. And that's all. Take care.